Hello learners, I'm Cynthia Mwa, your Integrated Science Facilitator. Today, our topic is General Properties of Metals. General Properties of Metals. Now, before we start today's lesson, let's look at our homework on the other time, the lesson we did on the other time we met. Now, homework. Homework number 1. State 2 functions of plant roots. State 2 functions of plant roots. 1. The roots hold the plant firmly in the soil. The roots hold the plant firmly in the soil. 2. The roots take water and nutrients to other parts of the plant. The roots take water and other nutrients to other parts of the plant. Homework number 2. Mention the 2 types of roots. Mention the 2 types of roots. 1. Tap roots and 2. Fibrous roots. Homework number 3. Give any 2 examples of plants with tap roots. Give any 2 examples of plants with tap roots. We have carrots, beans, pawpaw, tomato. Any 2 of them. Number 4. Give any 2 examples of plants with fibrous roots. Give any 2 examples of plants with fibrous roots. We have banana, maize, onion, coconut. So any 2 of them. Now, today's lesson, before we start, let's look at our lesson objectives. Lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to 1. Give 4 examples of metals. Give 4 examples of metals. 2. State 4 general properties of metals. State 4 general properties of metals. Good. Now let's start our lesson with examples of metals. Examples of metals. And we can see on our screen some pictures of metals on our screen. So let's look at the examples of metals. Some examples of metals are 1. Gold. So gold is a metal. 2. Steel. Steel is a metal. 3. We have silver. Silver. So silver is also a metal. And we have iron. 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 And we have aluminium. Aluminium. Also a metal. And then copper. 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 Good. Now, let's look at the examples again. Let's look at the examples again. Good. We have gold. We have steel. We have silver. We have iron. We have aluminium. We have copper. So these are examples of metals. Examples of metals. Good. Now, let's look at general properties of metals. General properties of metals. Now, what are the properties of metals? Property number 1. Hardness of metals. Hardness of metals. Good. Now, metals are hard and strong. So let's look at the video on our screen. We have a brick and we are pressing it. Good. Yes. This is a brick. Now, a brick is not hard and it's not strong, but metals are hard and strong. Metals are hard and strong. So look at it again. It is being pressed. Good. So metals are hard and strong, but bricks are soft. Examples of hard and strong metals are steel and iron. Steel and iron. So a steel is hard and strong. Iron is also hard and strong. Good. Now another property is malleability. Malleability of metals. What do we mean by malleability of metals? Now, malleability allows metals to be hammered or shaped into sheets. So we can see on our screen. Look at the video on our screen. Yes, it has been hammered to form a sheet. So malleability allows metals to be hammered or shaped into sheets. Good. Examples of malleable metals are gold, silver, aluminum, and copper. Examples of malleable metals are gold, silver, aluminum, and copper. Good. Now let's look at another property of metals. Another property of metals. Lustre of metals. Lustre of metals. Now what do we mean by lustre of metals? Good. The shining property of metals is called lustre. It's called lustre. So let's look at the picture on our screen. Now we have gold metal. Because of its shining nature, it is being used as jewels. So let's look on our screen. Gold jewel. We have gold cup. Yes, it is shining. Its shining nature allows it to be made into jewelries. Good. Examples of lustre metals are gold, silver, copper, brass, and aluminium. Examples of lustre metals are gold, silver, copper, brass, and aluminium. These metals are shiny in nature. They're bright. Good. Now another property is ductility. Ductility of metals. Ductility of metals. And what do we mean by ductility of metals? Good. Now this metal is copper. Copper. And it has been shaped into wires. Yes, so we can see a video on our screen. The ability of metals to be shaped into wires is the ductility. The ability of metals to be shaped into wires is the ductility. So we have a video on our screen. They are shaping the metals into wires. Good. Copper, aluminium, and steel are examples of ductile metals. Copper, aluminium, and steel are examples of ductile metals. And we have the picture on our screen. Good. Another property of metal is that they are good conductor of heat. It is good conductor of heat. Now we have a frying pan on fire and we have water in it boiling. So, good conductor of heat. What do we mean by that? The property of metals that allows heat to pass through easily, as we saw here. So heat is passing through the frying pan and the water is boiling. So good conductor of heat. So the property of metals that allows heat to pass through, good, is what? Conductivity. Conductivity. So let's look at this video. We have a metal being applied by heat, and let's look at what is happening. The heat is passing through one end to the other. It is showing the property of ductivity. Ductivity. Good. The property of metals that allows heat to pass through easily. We have another example on our screen. Because it is very hot, you can't touch it with your hand unless you use a rag. So the heat is passing through the pan. And this one allows us to cook our food. Good. Silver, copper, aluminium, and iron are good heat conductors. Silver, copper, aluminium, and iron are good heat conductors. So these metals show the property of ductivity. Ductivity. Good. So good conductor of electricity. What do we mean by good conductor of electricity? Now let's look at this video. Now we have steel, metal, we have wood, we have copper. So let's look at it. With the copper, with the glass, no lights. With the steel, there is lights. And with the wood, no lights. The light is off. And with the copper, the light is on. With the glass, the light is off. Steel light is on. Wood light is off. So the copper is a good conductor of electricity. The steel is also good conductor of electricity. But the wood is a bad conductor of electricity. And then the glass is also bad conductor of electricity. So the property of metals that allows electric current to pass through easily. The property of metals that allows electric current to pass through easily is good conductor of electricity. So let's look at the video on our screen. With the wood, on the first picture, the wood is there. So no electricity. Electricity is blocked. Electricity is blocked. But with the metal, when you close it, you will see that there is current passing through the wire. And the light is on. Good. Let's continue. Now copper, brass, steel, gold, and aluminium are good conductors of electricity. Copper, brass, steel, gold, and aluminium are good conductors of electricity. And we have their pictures on our screen. But wood is a bad conductor of electricity. Glass is also bad conductor of electricity. Good. Sonorous. Sonorous. What do we mean by sonorous. The property of metals to produce sound when struck by something. The property of metals to produce sound when struck by something shows the property of sonorous. So we have cymbal instruments, bell and guitar strings. Cymbal instruments, bell and guitar strings show the property of sonorous. They sound. Good. So the property of metals to produce sound when struck by something is called sonorous. I hope you are following the lesson. Some sonorous metals are copper, bronze, steel, aluminum, silver, iron, and brass. Some sonorous metals are copper, bronze, steel, aluminum, silver, iron, and brass. So we have the pictures on our screen. A cymbal instrument, we have the bell, and then the guitar string, and we have the metals on our screen. So these metals show the property of sonorous. Good. Now, we have special thing about metal. We have a special property on metal. We have liquid metal. A metal being liquid. Isn't it interesting? Yes, liquid metal. Now, mercury is special because it is the only metal that is liquid at standard temperature. Mercury is special because it is the only metal that is liquid at standard temperature. So mercury is a liquid metal. Metal being liquid. Very interesting. Yes, so we can see the picture of mercury metal being liquid on our screen. Children, you have seen it. Yes. Let's continue. Yes. Now, let's talk about the mercury. Let me say something about the mercury. Now, when you go to our various hospitals, the thermometer we use to check our temperature has the mercury liquid being metal in it. And they use it to check our temperature. They use it to check our temperatures. When they put it on our armpits, it rises as our temperature, according to the temperature of the body. Yes, the mercury rises in the glass. Yes, the mercury rises in the glass and it reads our temperature. Good. Now, very, very soon, we are coming to the end. Now, the summary of the lesson. The summary of the lesson. Now, we looked at the general properties of metals. And we have strong and hard. Metals are strong and hard. They show the property of malleability, lustre, ductility, heat conductivity, electric conductivity. Ductility, heat conductivity, and electric conductivity. So we have the copper, and we have another property here, sonorous, they sound. And we have special property on metal, the mercury being liquid metal. Mercury being liquid metal. So soon we have come to the end of our lesson. Now, let's test ourselves. Let's test ourselves on general properties of metals. Question number 1. If a metal can easily be drawn into the shape of a wire, it is A. Sonorous, luxury, ductile. So which of the answers is correct? It is ductile. So if a metal can easily be drawn into the shape of a wire, it is ductile. That metal is ductile. Question number 2. Which of these is not property of most metals? Which of these is not property of most metals? Soft, hard, malleable. Good. Soft. So metals are hard and they are malleable. Question number 3. The only liquid metal at the room temperature is called, we have copper, mercury, and iron. Which of the answers is correct? Mercury. Mercury. Good. Number 4. Another word for shiny metals is, we have ductile, luster, sonorous. Luster. Last question, number 5. When you hit it, it rings like a bell. Which property of metal is that? When you hit it, it rings like a bell. Which property of metal is that? Luster, sonorous, malleability. Which of the answers is correct? Sonorous. Good. Now our homework for today on properties, general properties of metals. What are the 2 properties that make a metal a good choice to use as a wire in electronics? Number 2, state 3 examples of metals. State 3 examples of metals. Number 3, state 4 general properties of metals. State 4 general properties of metals. Now, we have come to the end of our lesson. Until then, goodbye.